So tell us about your experience here at Spark Media.
It's been amazing. It's the thing I love about it is there's such a wide range of different topics, but they all have the common theme of Jesus Christ. So what's great about that is because we all kind of have that commonality, if that's even a word, the vulnerability. Like I just had a conversation that I'm like, oh, that's why I'm here. Like I had this, like even this morning I was like, I could just feel like God going, okay, my spider senses, if we remember Spider-Man, like something's going on here, and I don't know what it is, but something's going to happen. Keep your ears open here, buddy. And so this person sat down, and I said, "Can I ask you kind of a personal question?" We just had this awesome conversation, and she said something, and I was like, "Oh, that makes so much sense." Oh, and I just feel so much better. So you have that built-in kinship, and just the fact, and the podcasting space always is super helpful. We don't see each other as competition, because it's not radio. We're not all on at 7:30, you know, so we're all willing to help. And then you throw that in, and it's been amazing. This is, I think, my 4th time here.
Oh, great.
Very good. So
great. Yeah. That's awesome. I know that there's been a lot of community building here, a lot of spiritual awakening here, a lot of inspiration has come from here. So that's awesome that you have seen it from some of the first times to now. What do you think has been the biggest growth of Spark?
Boy, that's a good question. I think just obviously in the number, there are more people here, but then you get, I think that's it, really, just a bigger network of people. And we're getting more sponsors now, so we're learning about tools and tips and tricks that maybe we didn't know about before. And then the fact that I think everybody here has a book. Like it seems like this almost is an author event.
True.
But I've picked up quite a few books that I'll be reading on the plane right now. So that'll be great. But that's probably just the fact that it just keeps getting bigger. And the thing I love about it, I've seen so many conferences, they start small, they have this awesome community, and then everybody's like, we want to make it bigger. And it's hard to make it bigger without losing the community aspect. And so Spark still is getting bigger, but we still have that awesome community.
That's great.
What are some of the things that a new podcaster should be looking at right now in podcasting?
It really boils down to 2 things, or 4. One is, why am I doing this? So is it to position myself as a leader? Is it a marketing portion of my company? Am I trying to grow my network? Whatever that is. And then who am I talking to? And sometimes we think we've kind of niched down. So let's say I want to do a show for widows. And you're like, oh, well, we just cut out all the men. But there's still a big difference between Karen, who lost her spouse at 38 in a car wreck, and Mildred, who lost Harold at 97. So if you do an episode like, hey, ladies, we're going to talk about getting back out in the field, I'm not sure Mildred's going to be down for that. So you really have to know who your audience is. And then kind of the hard part is, all right, I know why I'm doing this. I know who I'm talking to. Where they overlap, that's your what. What am I going to talk about that's going to hold their attention while getting them to do whatever it is, whatever your motivation is. So it really boils down to that. So that's the 2. And then the other one is, it boils down to content and delivery. That's really it. And I always use the example of the Star Spangled Banner. Like there's actual notes for that, and some people stick right with the notes. And then other people add a little liberty. And if you stick to the notes, some people are like, they just did a traditional, like they didn't really like it. Other people love the fact that you did it in a traditional style. And then the person adds a little jazz to it. Some people are like, oh, I love the fact that they didn't. So I'm always like, no matter what you do, somebody's not going to like it, and you have to be okay with it.
It's a great
and
analogy.
then other people are going to be like, oh, this is so new and fresh. I love this. So, and the one theme I've heard, all week here is just be yourself.
Yes, that's the theme, authenticity.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good. Well, thanks. How can people listen to you, follow you, reach out to you, get connected with what you're doing?
My main website is schoolofpodcasting.com. That's my flagship show. But if you sit next to me long enough, I will start another podcast. It's kind of a sickness for me. So if you want to see everything I do, that's at powerofpodcasting.com.
Okay. Very good.
Powerofpodcasting.com.
I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've heard so many great shows.
Yeah.
So much wisdom.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah. Thanks for sitting with us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for sharing all that you've shared, and I hope you've learned more tips from Spark Media.